Dad died when I was 8 years old. You haven't been on one date since then.
This is you worrying about me. You don't have to because I'm fine.
Do you want to come on my trip with me, Mom?
You want to drive cross-country with me?
Yeah.
Hello, boys and gals. Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. Today's featured movie is for The Guilt Trip, starring Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand. The story personally reminded me of Tommy Boy with Chris Farley, but this movie's about Seth Rogen, who is trying to go around cross-country to meetings to pitch a product he created, which is SioClean, and it's not going very well. Eventually he bumps into his mother, Barbra Streisand, and she's not in the best condition. She's a little depressed. Her husband died when Seth Rogen's character was very young, and their relationship as mother and son hasn't been the best. After learning something about his mother's past, he decides to invite his mother to join him on a field trip, road trip, across America, in which he would, 1, pitch his product to many places, and 2, also learn and resolve this problem in Barbra Streisand's past. But most importantly, it's an 8-day trip to re-establish and reconnect the mother-son relationship that was lost long ago. Okay, so from a first impression, this is a PG-13 comedy, and I wasn't particularly excited because it wasn't really up my alley. I like Seth Rogen a lot, but this wasn't one of his raunchy comedies, which I tend to enjoy. This is actually more of a family film, so I thought maybe I would see a lot of cliches and things I wouldn't enjoy. But at the end of the day, The Guilt Trip is a piece of crap. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually a very genuine, heartfelt comedy family movie that I think everybody who sees could enjoy. The acting was better than expected. Seth Rogen, who normally plays himself, which would in other words be a pot-smoking, self-absorbed crazy guy. In this movie he's actually relatable, and he plays this guy who's just trying to climb the ladder of hierarchies in the world. He's just trying to be successful, and he's failing at what he's trying to do, but he doesn't want to give up. And Barbra Streisand, who plays the mother, obviously, as soon as I saw her appear on screen, her vocals, her acting ability, and everything that she did to embody a mother reminds me of at least 4 different people in my own family. The relatability amongst the acting and the relationship between Seth Rogen and Barbra Streisand really propelled the movie and brought it to a level that one might not expect. The concept of the story itself, a mother and a son going cross-country to accomplish a set of goals, both mentally and physically, is actually a pretty interesting story, which has been done. It's been done before, but it was executed very well in this movie, and again, it actually brings out a very emotional core. For the most part, it was very silly, but then towards the end, it gets to this emotional level, and it gets very touching and genuine. Going into what the marketing and the advertising for this movie is basically selling, the comedy for the most part is pretty good, pretty decent. You have your fair share of good jokes that are witty and relatable and funny, and then you have your fair share of bad jokes which fall flat or just don't do anything for most people. But for the most part, there are some good laughs. There's a couple laugh out loud moments which I was very surprised to see. The only thing really bad I would say about this movie is that it's pretty predictable. For the most part, you understand and you could see along the way where things are going to go, where plot lines will resolve and conclude. But then towards the last 20-30 minutes of the movie, there are some resolutions that actually are very surprising. There are a couple very touching and genuine twists that wrap up the story very well and ultimately make the movie satisfying. It's not something I would go out and buy and watch under my own personal will, but if it was on TV and the family was around and it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, I wouldn't have a problem watching it. It's a very genuinely touching, I keep saying genuine and touching, but it's true. I know for sure if I was watching this with my mother, by the end of it, she would break down a little bit and definitely cry and cuddle in my arm and be like, "Oh, honey," I'd be like, "No, stop, God." I'm very happy to say that I was pleasantly surprised with The Guilt Trip. It was very heartfelt and it gave me a good feeling inside my tummy and my heart. And this is, I'm telling you, this is a really good family movie, and there are a couple raunchy jokes in there, but this is a good movie for the whole family. Everybody can enjoy it, and I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Stating this one more time, this officially releases on December 19th, and amongst all the other Christmas movies releasing and all the other movies releasing this month in general, this is probably going to be the most well-rounded family movie for movies of all ages. Oh wait, I actually forgot about a movie that's coming out on Christmas Day that would be great for families. You know what that movie would be? Django Unchained. I haven't seen it yet, but I recommend it to all families. If you don't see Guilt Trip, go see Django Unchained. I can assure you, with no doubt in my mind, that you will not regret making that decision to go see Django Unchained with your sons and daughters and nephews and nieces. I'm being dead serious. If you are excited for or plan to see Guilt Trip when it comes out in a couple weeks, please comment down below. If you enjoyed this review, please let me know what you thought about it and if this enhanced or decreased your excitement, even though I pretty much praised the movie. Also, subscribe to MaffmanJones. Check out my Twitter and Facebook accounts on my channel itself. I'm John from MaffmanJones Reviews. See you next time. Ho ho ho!
I always wanted to see the Grand Canyon.
I know.
How long are we supposed to look at it?
10 minutes? Seems disrespectful to look at it for any less.
But he'll know.
That's a good point.